Stephen Miller is apparently a very strange dude, or was back in third grade, according to his teacher, Nikki Fisk. Now, Fisk, who recently came out and basically talked about her experience with teaching the young Stephen Miller, has now been suspended for speaking about Miller's childhood. Now, she said, of course, the guy was a strange dude. He had some bizarre habits when he was younger. And let me give the quote here because it's fun. Do you remember the character in Peanuts, the one called Pigpen? With a dust cloud and crumbs flying all around him? That was Stephen Miller at 8. I was always trying to get him to clean up his desk. He always had stuff mashed up in there. He was a strange dude. Okay, look, some people have had dirty desks. I get it, right? Okay. So, that said, that's not the weirdest thing that she had revealed about Miller. She also said, I remember he would take out a bottle of glue. We didn't have glue sticks in those days. He would pour glue on his arm, let it dry, peel it off, and then eat it. So he was eating glue when he was 8. That, you know what? That actually explains a lot, really, about Stephen Miller and about what he does and what he says. The kinds of stuff that he believes in. I mean, because you would have to be eating glue to think that Steve Bannon is a great guy. Just saying. Now, Fisk does point out that the kid never had any academic problems. He was smart enough to get through third grade at least. She did say that he had sloppy handwriting, but the real issue is that she was worried about him socially. Now, socially, I guess apparently he had some problems, which again, no surprise, right? She said, look, he had such strange personal habits and was isolated, off by himself all the time. Now, of course, Stephen wasn't political then, but it wasn't until later that he started to make waves. Fisk said that she attempted to write down all her concerns in a Miller school record, only to have the principal obscure it with whiteout after Miller's parents complained. But wait a minute. If your kid is weird, isolated, and eating glue, you would want to know that. You would want that child to get some help. Okay then. All right. Now, he's not, I should say she is not the first person to raise concerns about Stephen Miller, especially in his past. Now, last month, Miller's former Rabbi Neil Kamas Daniels, said that his zero-tolerance immigration policy that Miller helped write was completely antithetical I know about Judaism, Jewish law, and Jewish values. And earlier on, in August, Miller's uncle, retired neurophysicist David Glosser, said his nephew had become the architect of immigration policies that repudiate the very foundation of our family's life in this country. So this guy, he comes out, against his nephew and says he's not a good person. He is a bad person. And he is pretty much like, we didn't raise him. His family didn't raise him like that. His synagogue didn't raise him like that. But somehow he was still a bad person. And he still is a bad person. In fact, he said, he told HuffPost that Miller likely views certain ethnicities as, quote, unworthy or inherently unsuited to life in America. And, of course, he also pointed out the irony as a Jewish American. Like, hey, there was a point in America's history where we didn't let in the Jews. We thought that they were unsuited to American life. Or I should say, people in America thought Jews were unsuited to life in America and didn't let them in. And now he's doing the same thing to others, which, of course, is rampant hypocrisy. So, basically, weird outsider kid turns into super racist adult who seems to hate minorities. Shocker, right? That is very strange. Now the question is here, right? We already know about Stephen Miller. We know he's a bad guy. So the question is, though, should this information have even come out in the first place? Now, it's one thing for his uncle to air the dirty laundry, right? And that's fair is fair, and I actually agree with that. I thought that was an awesome, piece of information. But this is his teacher. Is it right for her to come out and say this is what he did in elementary school? I don't know. It is kind of strange. Like, where's the line? Because I'm pretty sure a lot of us have done things in elementary school which are not reflective of who we are today. So it is interesting to wonder, where is that line? Now, look, the other side of that is, well, he's a public figure now. He's a public figure, and therefore, I think it's open. It's fair game. So that is the interesting question here, as it relates to the story. And look, I'm kind of tossed. I'm kind of torn. This is a little bit of a toss up. So, do we, does she, deserve to get suspended for talking about this in such a public way, or is she doing the right thing? That's the question, man. And I don't necessarily know the answer. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.